Here are a bunch of tips and tricks for the finals that you need to know in rapid fire format. The final stonks have been up lately. Huge streamers like XQC and Moist Crickle have been playing the game and making videos on it. And with season 8 around the corner, I feel like now would be a great time for a tips and trick video. So pay attention, we're gonna go fast. I'm gonna try to fit as many as I can into this one video. Starting off with gameplay and strategy. 1 bar on the HP bar is equal to 25 HP, whether it's light, medium, or heavy. They're all the same. Stop fighting the same team over and over. If you notice in the first few minutes, you're always fighting purple and you keep losing up against them, go fight orange, because everybody knows that orange team is always the worst team. Use the goddamn tab button, rookie. This game is so much more about making the right decisions than it is about shooting dudes. If you're a team of 3 lights, I don't care if you're blessed by Prophet Muhammad himself, you ain't winning against a team of 3 heavies. Go fight the weakest link. Play to the strengths of your team composition. When stealing a cash out, consider who has the most HP so they can last longer while stealing it, who can drop a dome to protect themselves against incoming fire, and who can heal their teammates so they don't die while stealing. If you're not sure which weapon you should be using for each class, here's a quick start guide for the light class. Try the XP54 first. This thing is pretty damn good, especially at range, as recoil is pretty negligible. The medium class, FAMAS is pretty much king right now. It might change in season 8, but give this a try. And for the heavy class, I usually go the Shack, but for beginners, the M60 is usually a good pick. This might seem like common sense, but oh my god, I can't tell you how many people don't follow this. Stay behind your goddamn heavy. He has a freaking shield, and he is your literal shield. Use him as a bullet sponge. These buttons that are scattered across the maps are interactable and can go up and down, but the cool thing is, you don't even need to press the buttons. You can just shoot them, and it activates. This works for any button, even the elevators. The first cash out, dude, trust me, it doesn't really matter all that much. I've lost countless games that I have successfully opened, plugged, and successfully cashed out 2 vaults. It's all about the end game. You can go from the very bottom to the top in the last 30 seconds of the game. Smashing the subscribe button instantly Thanos snaps any enemy lights out of existence. You can take 2 of these things to 1 cash out or double the cash. You can attach many consumables onto these little canisters and do some crazy damage with them. Even though it's been nerfed in the past before a lot, it still kind of does work. This was known as the nuke back in the heyday of the finals. As you can tell, it's kind of OP and hella annoying to play. Now they've changed it so that any consumable that you attach to the canister are not active while you're holding it. It takes a few seconds after you throw it or drop it for it to activate. Let me see if I can hit this little thing right here. What the frick was that? I almost killed myself. Oh yeah, I forgot. Here's another random tip. They changed it so that putting consumables on these things actually has like a gravity or weight to them. There's a physics to it. So I put it on the bottom of this, you can see. So it's gonna pull it down, drag it down, watch. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. If you're in the lead, particularly second place, you should prioritize taking the vault and not putting into the cash out. That way nobody can take your second place spot. With that in mind, you should always prioritize playing the objective over simply just getting kills. Like I said before, this game is much more than just shooting people. There's actual tactics at play, and the meta is always changing. Oftentimes, especially in World Tour, it's better to just go third party instead of going for a new vault. So next time you see 2 teams fighting over a cash out, consider going over there. Unless you're in ranked where actually getting a team wipe means something. If you have the cash out like this, and it's on the first floor, like sometimes it's on the roof, it's usually always better to move it down at least 1 floor. That way you have a little bit of wiggle room and you can play the high ground. On that note, if you have the cash out and you're playing the sky structures where the vault is all the way up in the air, if it's yours, drop that thing on the ground, because it is really hard to steal that vault or cash out when it's out in the open in the middle of nowhere. And you and your team can just stay up in the sky structure and just shoot down anytime they try to steal. Play according to your play style. If you're a light class with the invis, why are you taking engagements head on like this? Go invisible, rotate around their butt, bend them over, and surprise them. Red mines are always enemy mines, blue mines are always your teammate mines. So keep that in mind next time you shoot them. If you eliminate an opponent and you have the time, drop a mine on their statue. Makes it harder to revive, or you can potentially do some damage if they do try. If your teammates get wrecked, as they usually do, and you're the last person alive, you can hide to avoid a team wipe, especially in ranked, where dying and get a team wipe means a lot more than in World Tour. This will give them a chance to either coin, or maybe the enemy team will leave the vicinity, hopefully, and you can go in for the revive. Oftentimes I see people forgetting the fact that you don't always need to take vault to the cash out. Sometimes it's just smarter to go set up an ambush at the cash out location. I can't tell you how many times this has happened to me, or I've done it to people and it actually worked out really well. Each kill grants you a little bit of money. This is how much it gives you in World Tour, and this is how much it gives you in rank. If you're struggling to rank up, try getting friends. And if you don't have friends, join our Discord community. Stealing a cash out takes time and it doesn't stop the timer on the cash out station. So it takes 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi to steal a cash out. I think it's a little bit longer in ranked. I might be wrong though. You can traverse buildings like this quite easily, even if the zipline is broken. Or you can hop in the windows like this, and there's this thing called window hopping where you can kind of jump out and grab the ledge like that. It takes a little bit of practice. It's not that hard to do, but you don't even need to be looking up to do it. You can kind of just like that. You see what I'm saying? I didn't even look up. It's not that hard to do, but you get the hang of it. Put your jump pad on ledges like this to send you at a steeper angle, giving you more distance, and you can slide into a jump pad to give you even more distance. You can also put your jump pad after a zip line like this to give you even more distance. If you jump before the end of a zip line, you'll go further. Each class has a different run speed, especially your heavy. He's like Big Smoke from San Andreas. Wait for him. For God's sake, wait for poor dude to catch up to you guys, especially if you're light. By the way, having all your teammates say the voice line hello at the start of a match gives your team a 50-50 chance of winning the game. You can bunny hop in the finals. I have it bound to mouse wheel down so that when you land, you get a little bonus speed boost. I actually prefer to bunny hop once when I hit the ground and then go into a slide. I seem to get a little bit more distance and speed that way. Along the same lines, you can also air strafe in this game, kind of like CSGO. See how I'm turning to the right? I even cleared that building. God damn, I didn't know you can do that much. If you're protecting a vault, you can break zip lines or ladders or any other type of movement to make it harder for the enemy to steal. Anytime you're on a map that has sky structures, you can break 2 adjacent support hooks to bring that whole unit down. Those support hooks, by the way, take 7 CL40 grenades to break 1. Or you can use an RPG, thermal bore, C4, whatever the hell you got. You can use a sledgehammer, by the way, to destroy the bridge on Monaco. I don't have footage of it right here, but you can break that whole bridge, funneling your enemy down through one little choke point, and if you know, you know. Basically, that cash out becomes unstealable if you do this. There's some places that not every class can go into. For example, this chimney is a really good hiding spot for light and medium classes, but the heavy can't go through this. And if you ever see those vents around, I'll try to find some footage of it. I don't have any right here. They kind of look like this. Also, there's another spot that only the medium class can access, and it's right here under these stairs. It's really cool. It's just like this. There's no in, no out, and only the medium class can access it using the DMAT. It's really fun to trap your opponent in here. If you open up a little hole like this, have them follow you, and close them in there. Here's a couple tips for the grapple hook on the light class. Sometimes it'll stay attached like this, and it'll just be sitting there hanging, but if you press it again or press spacebar to jump, it'll break it prematurely. For my Titanfall veterans, you already know what it is. You can press it and get a little speed boost around the corner like that, or even use it to get a little speed boost forward like that. By the way, you can also attach to, I don't see it, there's little hanging little fruit thingies in the sky that drop canisters. I think you can attach the canisters as well. No, you can't. Damn, I thought you could. On that note, you should definitely use vertical movement or movement in general. What is this? The hell? That wasn't there before. Anyway, as I was saying, you should definitely use vertical movement or movement in general to gain distance from players that actually have close range weaponry. Like imagine this heavy had a melee weapon, or he lock bolted me down. One of my favorite outplay tactics to do is if I get lock bolted by this heavy, I'll set down my jump pad and just start jumping around and he can't hit me. The evasive dash is kind of interesting. If you press it without any directional input, it just dashes you forward. You can press it sideways to go sideways, and it also maintains the direction that you're looking. So if I wanted to go slightly upwards, I can do this. It's kind of like a little weird tech, but if you slide off the edge of an object, it gives you a little bit of a speed boost. It's nothing too crazy, but it's there. Also, sliding maintains momentum, so you can go pretty far distances, especially on the map Kyoto, where there's like a huge downhill map. So you can just slide like this down. So you go until you run out of momentum, or stairs like this. Whee! Zip lines are kind of weird. I don't got anyone in the range with me to kind of showcase this, but you can imagine this is a straight line going side to side. So if you're on this zip line as an enemy, you're a really easy target to shoot. So if you're going to take a zip line, just keep that in mind. And it also has recoil smoothing, which I'll talk about a little bit later. You're a very easy target to hit when you're on the zip line. And here's another little fun fact. If I'm holding this angle right here on the zip line, there's an enemy coming on the zip line right there. All I have to do is hold mouse 1. It's really that easy. You are such an easy target to hit on the zip line, so just keep that in mind. On that note, it takes 2 melee hits to break a zipline, so boom, boom. If you want to shoot it from afar, you can also break it like that, or one CL40 grenade. Here, watch, I'll show you. Where's my beloved CL40? There it is. See, watch. See, watch. I don't even need to be close to it. Okay, frick me. Okay, there. See, I even hit under it and it broke. Too many people forget about this. You have a melee button for a reason. If you're fighting an enemy and you see yourself run out of bullets and all he is like one hit away, just freaking go finish him off with a melee. Sadly, in-air accuracy is still a thing, so you're not going to be perfectly accurate. Even though I'm ADS, my bullets aren't exactly going where I'm pointing a crosshair. It's really weird, but it is a thing in this game. But if you ever wondered why your bullets are going all over the place when you go off a jump pad or jump off a building or a zip line or something like that, it's because you suck, but also slightly because there's inaccuracy, mostly because you suck. Weapons in this game all have the same recoil pattern every single time. Just like in CSGO, you can learn the recoil pattern for your favorite gun. So like the FCAR is, sorry, this is really just freaking addicting to do. The FCAR is just notorious for having like insane initial first recoil kick. But if you notice, it's the same every single time. So once I reload here, just like that. So you can learn it. If recoil isn't your thing, play the FAMAS. Just trust me on this one. If burst isn't your thing, just play the minigun. Trust me. If bullet hosing isn't your thing, then you can just play melee. And if none of those are your thing, then just go play League because you probably have brain damage. Stop being a bot when you're moving around the map, by the way. I see too many people staring at the ground, me included, or to just like entering doorways like this. This is terrible. For God's sake, go play Valorant and learn a thing or two about crosshair placement. You should be keeping your crosshair at least like torso height in this game. If you're going upstairs like this, your enemy is not going to appear in the middle of a stair like this. He's going to come out of here like this. So keep your crosshair up where they can come out of like this. The enemy can come out of this corner. He can come out of that doorway. I'm going to keep my crosshair there. I'm not going to look at the ground like this, like a bot. If you see a bright lens flare, by the way, that's not a firework. This game also has lens flare for snipers. Here's a tip to counter the riot shield users. You want to aim straight directly at their feet and then quickly press Alt F4. When you're reviving or stealing, make sure you crouch spam so it makes you harder to hit. It also makes your teammates suck on these nuts. Shooting a fire canister or a gas canister will set off its timer. I think it's about 15 seconds. Okay, that took longer than expected. And these canisters all have different counters to them. So for instance, it starts with gas. You can set off gas like that and then counter it with a fire canister like this, or any kind of fire. Also, fire counters goo. So you have goo like that. If you notice, you put it up, they start catching on fire like this, and it eventually, after a few seconds, burns it all down. And any connecting goo will also break. I also forgot that smoke apparently counters fire, I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it works, kinda, but fire spreads in a forest pretty damn fast. It used to be worse, imagine that. And these things they just go boom. If you hit a dude head on with one of these things, it does, I think it was 125 damage. Let's try. Yep, exactly 125 damage. One little tactic you can do with goo is if you have a jump pad, you can set it on an angle to give you a little bit more of a boost. Just like that. Oh, this is a big one. So these little goo canisters are hella underrated, or like goo grenades. When you're playing a match that has these huge jump pads like this, if you throw it in kind of like a direction that's going to block it off, okay, that's really... Oh, another tip is things can bounce off of jump pads. Even RPGs, so you can do weird stuff like this. Like, okay, I'm gonna try one more time. God damn it. Okay, this time. Frick! This time. Oh my god, dude. It wasn't even on the jump pad. This time. For real. Dude. Okay, yeah. What? This time. For real. There. If you put it on there. Okay, frick me. Obviously, in the range, it doesn't work. But even if it's just slightly on the jump pad like that, it renders the jump pad inactive. I swear it works in game, dude. On that note, the CL40 is a really good counter to goo. It takes 2 bullets to break the whole thing. This is one I've been meaning to try to see if you can negate all gas effects. Let me see if I can heal this dude. No, you can't fully negate gas, but you can definitely slow it down. Most utility like grenades, dome shields, and goo grenades also have a right click throw to underhand throw it. So if you want to throw it close, you can also break these by shooting them right here in the middle. Obviously this is mine, so I can't break it, but you get the idea. Remember that zipline thing I was talking about, how it makes you an easy target? Well, if you're gonna go have your mesh shield heavy lead the charge, because you can use that thing on a zipline, and it works for both vertical and horizontal ziplines. Just like that. You can activate it and disactivate it on the zipline at any time you feel like. The healing beam, if you use this thing, stays connected. Okay, well, he died, frick me. The healing beam, if you still use this thing, it stays connected even if you go behind a wall like this for a short period of time, so you can, you know, keep healing them like this. And it can overheat, so avoid getting overheated because it has a huge cool off time. Instead, if you let it cool down on its own a little bit and then heal, you can go longer that way. You can last longer. Another thing, when you're healing, you don't even need to be looking at the guy. You can shoot your own mines as well. So if you want to detonate it at a range, it's easier with the CL40, but anything works. It takes 2 bullets and then you detonate it. If your teammate's statue has a mine on it, like I'm placing a mine on my teammates like this, imagine that's at enemies. It's better to use the defib, because once you do, it detonates the enemy mine while they're rezzing like this, and they don't get affected by the initial explosion. If you have a canister like this, besides just dropping it or throwing it like this, you have other options where you can melee it to send it flying as well, to prime it. You can also do a little tech that has been in the game since beta. You throw it, pick it back up, catch it, and if you hold it too long, it blows up in your hand. But you could also use it to like, oh, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. You can break floors and roofs that might be too close of range for your thing to detonate on. So you throw it, catch it, and then just like hold it for a bit and throw it, and it blows up right there. If you're playing heavy and you have a dome shield, by the way, currently one of the metas is to use it to initiate a fight. I see pros doing this all the time. They use that thing to initiate the fight. That way it gives them a little bit of buffer zone where they can start shooting the enemy first and do some damage before the enemy starts inflicting damage on them. If you're protecting something or just like want to place a mine a little bit more unintrusive, you can place it right in front of a door like this. So that way when people come barging in without ringing the doorbell first, they hit it just like that. You can also play one floor above, place it right there, and then just like bring it down like that. Another thing I love to do is gas mines. They go through walls and floors. So if you're protecting a vault or a cache out below, you just place it one floor above, shoot it, and that goes to the bottom floor. Just like that. If you're trying to scale a ceiling and get to one floor above you, but it's a little bit too high, when you're dematting, try dematting under like a table or another object. That way it gives you and your heavy an easy way to get up to the next floor. By the way, this seems kind of obvious, but you can block doorways using a jump pad. If you ever see one of those anti-gravity cubes and you kind of like panicked, don't know what to do, you can shoot the small cube under it just like you can with the dome shield to destroy it. This is cool tech you can do. I'm not the best at it. You got to get like right under the cash out station, place a jump pad, and then you can demat under it to, okay, well, let me try again. Yeah, you can keep having it bounce like this indefinitely. I got it. When you're picking a loadout, by the way, if you're using any kind of mine, avoid putting any kind of flashy skins on them. You might notice that I don't have any skin on mine. That's not because I'm a broke boy. It also makes it easier to spot. Okay, I only have like 3 skins. All right, I might be a bit of a broke boy. The invisibility cloak has seen its round of nerfs and buffs because it is a really annoying ability and gadget, but a couple things to keep in mind is that it makes noise when the enemy activates it, and that noise is louder when they're moving compared to when they're not. You also go almost completely invisible if you stand still. Also, taking damage while you're in cloak forces you out of cloak. I guess except for gas. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Maybe it's because I detonated it? What about fire? Fire usually takes you out of cloak. I think it's because I detonated it. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Unless I'm wrong, I think inflicted damage from gas or fire doesn't do it. I may be wrong, but I'm gonna ask you guys to leave a comment down below. But I think inflicted damage, unless it's only in the practice range, it might not take you out of cloaking. I don't remember. Fully sticking a res like this gets your teammate back up to 100 HP. There it is. Versus using the defibrillator, it only gets them back up to half HP. So make sure that once you heal them up like that, if you have any kind of heal ability, use it on them. Winch is awesome. Just use it. Like, this is really cool. You know, so you can pull enemies. I wonder if he's gonna keep shooting him. Oh, he is. And pretty much anything you can think of. Even vaults or cash out, and there's some really cool tech to go with it, like this. Okay, well, if that was a cash out, it would have done something cool where it flies above, but I don't have a cash out in the range. So if you're using the sonar grenade because you're a weirdo, it's usually better to throw it in the middle of a building like this, because the scan distance is actually a sphere. So if you throw it a little bit higher up, its little range will scan higher in the buildings because it's in the middle of the building. On the note of defibbing, you get a little debuff when you're just charging up the defib. As you can see, I move a lot slower like this. You can mitigate that by using movement, by using like a jump pad or a zip line, or use the tech spec where you start it up, slide, jump, and then let it go, that it's a little bit faster that way. Also, save this thing for emergencies. If you have the time and you're able to res your teammate by fully sticking it, do that. That way they get full HP back. I was gonna get him back to full HP. You can shoot out lights. It really doesn't do much. These things actually do a little bit. If you shoot these things out, you break it fully, you can make areas darker, but I mean, this game already has good visibility as is. You might notice that enemies have red outlines, but they don't show through smoke. Just like that. You can listen for distinct audio cues to let you know that there's a mine nearby. By the way, red mines are always enemy mines, blue mines are always your teammate mines. So keep that in mind next time you shoot them. Shotguns in this game give you no benefit if you ADS. Just like in real life, the pellets still go the same amount of spread. So shooting it like that versus shooting it like this does the same thing. Okay, model might not be the best showcase of that. Here, I got the shorty. Here's the shorty. ADS, not ADS. So stop ADSing. There is a thing called recoil smoothing. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail into this topic because I've covered it before in the past in a video. I'll try to link to it below. Essentially what it is if you're not doing this motion right here, you have higher recoil like this than you do if you kind of draw your aim to the side like this. So basically, if you're shooting a target like this, instead of shooting standing still like this, strafe side to side and counteract it with your aim, kind of like how I'm doing here. That'll give you less recoil.